It's Podraza. I'm not making any of this up. Thanks, Pat. You know what I gotta do on this is I don't know why you not go to your family for the holiday. You went back to the Poconos. Was there a fight? You know, this is killing me, this whole thing. The reason why I have allowed time for Stephen, he spoke to you. It was a kind thing to say, and I saw goodness in that mail. It hadn't been totally addressed. He's the only one that I've been able to feel anything for since a long time ago. Anyway, all of that is correct, and that was all messed up also due to my incapacity to be able to communicate in this fashion. I am willing to go over those poems with you. You know, I could make the inference that you're a werewolf or something, or somebody's involved with that. But I really, it is not even funny. But I'm saying that is written in that, and I hope that you see, somebody was discussing that, and I was worried that somebody would be harmed. You see, I carry the rosary beads, and I was going to battle it from God and the dead. You see, my father and grandfather could go in the woods in the dark, find a rabid wolf, and kill it. And I don't know, something went on in Naples that I was able not to be attacked by a wolf. And I'm going to tell you, that is how I view this. Your poetry is outstanding, but I've got to ask the question. And I've got 9 poems to go over. Laughed. Well, that's too bad. He's brilliant, off the charts. And I didn't mean it to be funny. Now, I don't know about one element. And I don't know. I don't want to bring it up. I know he's brilliant and didn't want to harm, if that's what was said. I am not going to be losing weight unless it comes off. I eat. And number 2, I'm not a bisexual. Now, I don't know that either. And I really can't mate with one who has to swing both ways. I can't. He's very desirable. That part comes from my father and my father's father. My grandfather's getting older. He knew there was a rabid wolf. The woods were way away from the farm, but a good distance to walk. Out in the pitch dark. They both have had X-ray vision still, and they had to kill the wolf. They were not a murderer of animals, far from it. And I'm the one who loved the farm. And I'm going to tell you, that comes from my father's side. I don't play games. I carry the rosary beads, and I choose the broken ones because I can't be affording all of it. And I have literally carried a packing knife to scope out a place once because I felt the male had a gun behind the truck. Now, I sat there and I waited, and I spoke to somebody and wouldn't leave. I walked so far to scope that piece of property to see if he were being harmed. Now, if this is funny, it isn't funny at all to me. Now, I read your poem, there are 9, and I would bring some to your attention. Some I wouldn't touch. I'm telling you, it's brilliant writing. And some I'd add a line or 2. And some of it I have felt. I've had no relationships. I don't play games. None. Mental is not a relationship. And he's fully aware of the fact it has been encouraging. There is a conflict on the subject of Peter Vanny. I could bust wide open as to why I wasn't told what went on. But in my heart, I still liked who I was then. I had gut levels on things, and they happened. Pryor was an enigma, and I knew it. But there was something good in him also that I felt. I am not for competition. I am for teach and allow. than I am for placing somebody where they can be utilized. And degrees of placement and compensated if they all can't be at the top. You see, that is how I would run a company, not slaughtering each other. And who's smarter and who can outwit. I can't stand it, and I won't take a part in it. I am my mother and my father. God rest their soul. You got no idea how I've missed them. I am the eldest, and I don't want that son busted. And I'm telling you flat out, I have a daughter. I had bad gut levels at the end in the bank. After prior the marriage, and my brain cracked. And I'm going to tell you, I should have worked for Peter Vanny, who was my cousin, or Fisk. Lee Hogerson was a delightful female, tried to keep working. Her husband wasn't, I think, perfect, retired or wasn't quite as well. She had 6 months to work. She worked her head off and hard and was a good woman. She was very, just a little more naive than I, but not on the fact that something was rotten in Denmark on my side of personal trust. I mean, Cunningham couldn't stand cinnamon in his coffee. I wasn't stupid. I was very badly hurt. Felt bad for Pryor due to his cooking thing there. And in the cafeteria, the whole thing was hell on wheels. And I was almost in a trance on that subject of his being demised. And mine was somewhere in the picture, I felt, soon myself. I didn't tell that to Peter Vanny. I felt that it was, and furthermore, somebody could have called me anyway. I trusted Herbert Birk, and I called him. And he said, what you're doing is, I feel, the best thing you can do right now. I trusted he'd pull it out of the sewer if he could pull it out of the sewer. Mother had flashbacks on the subject of testing things out herself. Reminded me a bit of Sherry, and she's dead. But anyway, I went through some hard stuff with Mom on that reality. Very little, however, a conversation. I don't think there was anything wrong with her evolution throughout life. She was the best mother I could have had. We had some tough rounds. Dad could clarify it, but she even did well on her with her gut levels. I cannot be any other kind, and I don't wish to be any other kind. I am non-manipulative. I am straightforward. I have a temper. It's a Podraza temper. And I'm going to tell you that is where it's at on this subject. None of that was game, playing. That kid, I've asked him, blessed around the clock, who picked me up and got me back to that apartment. God helped me getting in there, how sick I was. That house was, and that situation in that house was bizarre, to say the least, and terrifying. And that's all I got to say about that house. My son didn't see the spiders. I ran in full moon at an animal gate. I was very sick. I judged the distance from that apartment in Naples to Wyndham. I judged it all wrong. The bank, there was no holiday. The bank should not have been closed. They had a new Norway savings bank, and they weren't open. I had no food. I didn't want to borrow any. I didn't even have $13 to my name. I tried walking to Wyndham. I got a ride with a bunch of people and made it to the bank and got the money. Coming back was getting toward dark and nightfall, and I was there. And I prayed to God. I said, I'm not going to make it. I am not going to make it any longer, Lord. I can't make it. I don't know what to say to you. I can't make it. I heard the dogs howling and the wolves. I ran with the wolves in the woods. They never charged. They never came at me. It was an animal gate. And that kid came by, said, did you need a rod? I said, thank you. He watched me. I don't know how he saw the road. I prayed the whole time. He would not take a penny. He never raped me, left me off there. I thanked him. I'm telling you, I had frostbite. I still do. I don't have gloves. And I have to have warm shoes and a jacket. I love winter. I love the cold. But I can't be out indefinitely in it. Due to that, I ran with the wolves. And I can't explain it. This is a bizarre story. I know when houses are haunted. I've dealt with it. I've been brought in for interviews, and I know that the thing is possessed by the evil of something or other. That's been done dirty there or murdered there or something. I've lived this life. And boy, that Warren female ought to run out of that house. They had a documentary on there. She gave me the creeps. I'd be long gone. I don't know what she got into, but I'd have been running out of the door. And that is where that subject matter is. This is not games. You've got those credentials. You're young. I don't want to hurt you, but I know this is not games. To me, this has been my life. I don't know what you want to call it, but I want a nail in this bed. I saw goodness in Stephen Kotler. I don't know what it means, but I have to get through Thanksgiving, and that's what I have to do.